I've been wanting to make this video, but I just didn't know how to keep on track. So I wrote it down. That way I can deliver it with cohesion. Okay. This is a little bit about me, y'all. This is my story. This is my testimony. This is what I've been going through the past 5 years. What has come before that will come in videos for the future, but this is the past 5 years. You could say that this is my motherhood story. This is the motherhood chapter of my life. So before I had my first daughter, Anjali, I worked in sales. I was partnered with Google. I drove a Mustang. I blasted death metal and rap. And I walked with an arrogant edge, often numbing myself with alcohol and substance abuse. Money felt like power, and power felt like darkness. Even when I stood on the dark side, I didn't believe I needed money. And it was that belief exactly that controlled me. And then Anjali was born. And when I looked at her, everything changed. And God revealed to me just how deep in darkness I had been walking. He warned me. He warned me that if I had continued the path and the life that I was on and living, the enemy would try to take my daughter. And that was my line in the sand. I said no. I turned my back on Satan and every lie that came with him. But this wasn't an easy surrender. I had turned away from God when I was young, abused, neglected, raped, drugged. I felt like, how could a loving God exist in the middle of all that? But when I saw my daughter, innocent and radiant, I couldn't bear the thought of her suffering the same fate. So I called out to God and I begged for forgiveness. And I'm telling you that the moment I did, I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. It was all nines. 999, 999, 9999. And at the time I didn't understand numerology, but now I see it clear. It was completion. The end of a cycle. A divine reset. And at the time I was too scared to answer the phone because it was upside down and it looked like all sixes to me. I thought darkness was calling me back, but it was God, and it was God telling me he was ready. I was ready, and I was being set free. God was already setting me free. It took years of backtracking, surrendering, repenting, and I fell once out of exhaustion. But I got sober. Then came another test. I went back to her father, and not out of love, but out of fear that she would suffer without him. And that was my mistake. I stopped trusting God. But I fought for Anjali. I fought for my daughter. And every year something tried to steal her from me. Through the system, through fear, through manipulation. But last year everything changed. I finally had enough information, enough strength, enough faith to break free for good. But even in all that fear and frustration, God answered my prayer. Before I ever returned back to her father, I cried out to God and prayed to God for another daughter, for another child. And, in turn, a second chance, a new beginning. And then Geneva was born. And now I see the grace in that decision. It wasn't backtrack, it was divine redirection. God whispered to me, just as Yeshua did to Matthew. He said, "Follow me." And I did. I left everything. My job, my home, my belongings, my family, everything. And he replaced it all. with more love than I have ever had before in my life, more love than I could even imagine, more love than I even knew existed. He gave me more peace. He gave me purpose. I have a vision. This is my testimony. And I'm not perfect. I still fall short. But I'm walking in truth now. I'm not chasing status. I'm not controlled by money. And I'm not defined by my trauma. I'm free. And I'm just getting started. Love you. Peace.